Ratty, when did you first start making YouTube content, and what inspired you to start a channel?
I started, well, I mean, I've had my Ratty Star YouTube channel since 2010. That's when I created the account primarily just to watch videos and
May
stuff.
2010, wasn't it?
You've been doing some research.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, I've had my channel for a long time, but I didn't start creating anything until 2017, I think, when I started making some Fallout 4 stuff. And I was really enjoying Fallout 4, and I was just thinking to myself, I enjoy playing this game. Why not play it for an audience? So I started doing some live streams and stuff. Starting out live streaming with no subscribers and stuff is like really tough. You know, obviously that, you know, nobody watches. So I was playing a lot of Fallout 4, and I was just thinking to myself, you know, I enjoy playing this game. Why don't I just sort of stream it and see if people want to watch and hang out and chill and stuff? And obviously starting out with nothing is really tough, but eventually, you know, you build a tiny audience, and then that audience gets just a little bit bigger. And I mean, I remember the first stream that I did where I had like 5 people watching me. I was like, oh my God, this is insane. I've got 5 people watching me, you know, how, like, and then it grows to 10 and 15 and, you know, and I think the stream I had where I had the most amount of people watching me, I think I peaked at like 95 people. That was,
that's incredible.
I mean, that was obviously, you know, probably when I had, I don't know, 8,000 or 9,000 subscribers, something like that. But starting out small is like, it's really hard for a streamer. And I'd encourage anybody who's wanting to start, just start making some videos first and try and build an audience before going straight into live streaming, because live streaming to like nobody is tough. It's and it's really hard, and it can be really demoralizing as well, because you think you're putting all this time and effort into something, and then there's nobody there to watch it. And
or you think one person's watching, and then you realize you've still got YouTube open on your phone, and it's not, it's just you're watching yourself. Kind of.
Hi guys, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining me. It's great to see so many of you here. So if you're wondering why my camp is under construction, because it got nuked and I haven't repaired it yet. So I don't intend to repair it. I'm not wasting materials repairing it, so it can just stay as it is. So what I want to do is I want to remove this stupid hat, because I'm not fucking wearing it. Because it's all good. I'm not bothered about somebody nuking my camp. I'm not bothered.
You've seen success with your content, averaging between 50 to 80,000 views on your character builds and gun guides. How did it feel the first time you saw one of your videos do so well? And have you ever felt added pressure to keep generating such high views, or do you tend not to focus on views or subscriber counts?
So, I mean, obviously it's amazing to create a piece of content and see it perform well and people enjoy it and respond well to it and all that sort of stuff. In terms of paying attention to analytics, it can get very intense. And I went through a stage where I was so caught up in my analytics that I started to sort of chase views, because I was publishing videos that weren't gaining views and stuff, and I was thinking, I've got to make views, I've got to get views, and then I started to create the wrong type of content just for the views.
Right, okay.
So I went through a stage where I was creating loads of like exploit content and all this sort of stuff, and
glitch videos, guaranteed views.
Well, yeah, they are guaranteed views,
not always the right direction.
No, they're not. And I sort of quickly realized, and I was like, you know what, this has got to stop, because this isn't adding any value. And this is also portraying me in a really bad light, because I've gone from making loads of stuff that people obviously got some value from. A lot of people probably didn't get any value from, because some of my build guides and stuff, they weren't the best when I first started publishing them. But they weren't aimed at sort of the top tier, you know, wants to min max damage and all that sort of stuff. They were just aimed at an average player, just to sort of help them through the game or whatever. And
which is the majority of people that play.
Yeah, and
most of us are just average players that don't really know what we're doing. We're just trying to figure it out. So I think you guys are really helpful.
Yeah. But yeah, I did go through a stage where I was heavily focused on my analytics and stuff, and it got to a point, like I said, where I was making all this content that just wasn't right. And then I think ultimately I don't know, the analytics probably got better of me, to be honest, and it's probably one of the reasons as to why I stopped as well, because I was slowly realizing that, you know, my videos just weren't doing so well anymore, and you know, it sort of just got on top of me a bit, I guess, because, you know, as much as you don't want to pay attention to analytics and stuff, it is very demoralizing when you publish a video and not expecting it to perform well and blow up and drive thousands and thousands of views. But, you know, when you make a video that you spend hours and hours on and then you publish it and it gets like 400 views, it's like, you know.
Yeah, well, that's it. When you're used to, you know, when you've got these videos that, I mean, I understand, you know, with time that videos can also, they rank up, you know, views as time goes by as well. So in hindsight, I could look back and say, oh, you've had 80,000 views on this video, 83,000, I think it was.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's still, when it came out, you still would have been used to getting, you know, a few thousand at least on your videos. And so to kind of launch one and not have that, I can imagine that's hard. That's a bit of a hit to you, because you think, hold on, what have I done wrong? You know, what's happened? And that's it. How do you deal with that? Like, or how did you deal with it before you kind of took your break from YouTube? Did you just kind of ignore it, say it was just one of them things, or?
Yeah, so I mean, I'd publish a video and say it didn't perform that well. I'd be like, oh, well, I'll move on and do the next one. But I think I went through a stage where I published like 3 or 4 videos in a row that just tanked. They didn't take off at all. And I think to this day, I still think they've not driven like anything like the number of views that I was expecting them to. I was diving into some different types of content because there's only so much content that you can make for Fallout 76 before everything's been covered. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
like build guides and stuff, like once you've done one, it, like, nothing's going to change on it. I've always tried to think, like, not to compare myself to like how other channels are performing and stuff, but you know, you look at somebody publishes a video and then you publish like a video that's similar, but their video does, you know, drives 10,000 views in 2 days and your video drives 400 views in 2 days. It's like, well, what have they done different than what I've done? And you know, but I watch a few sort of YouTube help creators who always say, like, don't focus on what other people are doing, just focus on what you're doing, and you know, and the traffic will come and all that sort of stuff. But it can be, I don't know, it can be sort of demoralizing when you're you know, when you're spending all this time on a video and then it just goes.
Earlier this year, you announced that you were walking away from YouTube and Fallout 76. Can you share with us what prompted this decision and why you wanted to leave it all behind? And also what made you return to YouTube?
I'd grown very bored of the game, basically. And that was beginning to sort of reflect in the content that I was making. I was making YouTube videos that were, I suppose you could argue they were becoming a little bit toxic, I guess, in a way, and I'll delve a little bit more into that in a minute. And the same with my streams and stuff. And I was becoming somebody that I didn't like, and I sort of felt that I needed to really sort of separate myself away from that. So ultimately, I decided to sort of knock it on the head. Now, Fallout 76 is a very it's a game that's very close to my heart for one reason, and that is that the day the beta was released for Fallout 76 back in October of 2018, so basically I was involved in an armed robbery at my work, right, where I had 2 blokes come into my work, threatened me with knives, like tied me up, all this sort of shit, right? And Fallout 76 was released like the day that this happened, right? So I sort of turned to Fallout 76 as an escape. Yeah. So when I sort of realised that the game was, you know, heading in a direction that I didn't really like, that's when I sort of turned my back on it, and I thought, you know what, I can't play this, because this isn't the game that sort of helped me through arguably the darkest time I've ever been through in my life. And
yeah,
and you know, it's
very personal for you.
Yeah, it's something that still haunts me now, and it's ultimately why, I mean, I don't work for that company anymore because of that, because I just couldn't stay in that environment. And Fallout 76 was my escape. And you know, when it started heading down the route that I sort of didn't really like, and I didn't see it having any kind of future, that's when I was just like, you know what, I can't play this anymore.
Sorry, that really shocked me. I can't believe you went through that. Like, that's such a big thing to go through it.
I mean, I spoke about it on a few streams and stuff, but I didn't feel that it was something that, you know, I needed to tell the whole world about. You know what I mean? It was something that happened to me, and you know, I needed to move past it, and you know, I don't think I'll never get over it, but
no,
I don't know. I can't change that it's happened. You know, it's happened. I can't do anything about it, and this is why, you know, this is why Fallout was so special to me, I guess, because it was my thing, and it was what I used to try and sort of help me through it, and you know, so the reason why I came back was mainly because of the people. I missed playing with, you know, I met some incredible people playing Fallout 76. You know, not just like on YouTube in general, but like on Xbox. I met people from all over the world, like TYR, and like there's a couple of guys who were like regular viewers of my channel and stuff, who I'd play 76 with, and we'd chat in party chat and all this sort of stuff. And I missed that side of it more than the game. And
that community and that closeness that you have, friendships.
And I think even when I returned to the game, it's still, it wasn't in, you know, any better state than really when I left it. And I still don't think it's all that great now.
No.
There's still very little to do for, you know, end game players like myself. You know, I've got a couple of characters that are, you know, they're considered like top tier and stuff. And I think Fallout 76 at the moment, unless you're like a camp builder or a new player to the game, there is very little to do. And I think a lot of the like old school players like myself are gradually getting turned off by the game.
Yeah. Do you not find with the new content, like with the new seasons and the scoreboard, does that appeal to you or not so much?
No, because
it's very aesthetic stuff, isn't it?
So I like the idea of the scoreboard. I like that you complete challenges and you earn rewards and all that sort of stuff. The issue lies for me with the challenges. They're not challenges.
No,
like
they're very basic.
Going to somebody's vendor and buying 5 items, that is not a challenge. You know, like, give us something to do that is actually going to be worth doing.
Yeah, or like a mission. You could jump 10 steps in the scoreboard for completing this mission. Or it could just be a small quest.
There's a challenge. Is there a challenge like every day or something? Like visit a shelter? Like what the hell is that? There should be challenges in the game where you have to kill, like, I don't know, kill 100 enemies in a day or something, or kill like they used to have, like, kill 20 odd legendaries or something like that. Like, get us playing the game, not like build 20 items in your camp. Like anybody can do that.
No, hold on to anything shiny. It may be of hidden value.
Fallout is quite a... I go on and off playing Fallout simply because when I play the game, it can put me in a very negative mood. And if sometimes it can be something as silly as forgetting to put the Fallout radio on. If I don't put that radio on, I get really, really kind of solemn and depressed.
Yeah.
Lucky for us, you returned and are back making Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 streams, which we are all glad to see. However, that's not all you do.
Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a mock rebuild of the LEGO TIE Fighter.
Alongside your Ratty Star channel, you have another channel dedicated to Lego builds. Can you tell us more about this and where the idea came from?
Like when I was a kid, I was a huge fan of Lego. I loved playing with Lego. I loved that you could just take little plastic bricks and build something like completely unique and was yours. And you know, I just thought it was incredible.
Yeah.
And then I sort of just I didn't fall out of love with Lego, but I just sort of lost interest in it, I guess. You know, I grew up and I don't know if I just considered Lego to be a toy. But now since my kids have been born, like whenever we go into toy shops and stuff, I was always looking at Lego and I was thinking,
you got an excuse to buy
cool.
Now.
This is different to Lego when I was a kid. You know, you know, Lego when I was a kid was just so basic. I mean, we're talking like 30 years ago. You know, it was
we
like
just had
really
bricks,
basic.
didn't we, back then? Like
yeah,
literally just
it
bricks,
was like
not like this stuff you've got.
You would get Lego sets and stuff, but they would just be like really basic and like, you know, nothing like what I've got back here. And when I stopped uploading Fallout content, I thought like I needed something to fill the void, I guess, in my life that Fallout and YouTube left. So I decided to start collecting Lego, and I'd made quite a bit of money from my Fallout content, and what I hadn't spent sort of reinvesting into that channel, either buying like new gear, like new monitors or like new Xbox controllers or anything like that. Basically what I had left over, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna buy some Lego and I'm gonna start a channel and I'm just gonna see what happens. And I bought a few little Lego sets. I bought some like little like Lego mech things that were only like 10-12 pounds, and then I gradually thought, you know what, I'm going to buy something more expensive, and then I gradually started buying sets that were like 25 pounds, and then yeah, and now I own Lego sets that are hundreds of pounds. And you know, I went from collecting Lego sets that had like 50 pieces to collecting Lego sets that have like 4,000 pieces, like the Disney castle that you can see here. So that's a 4,000 piece Lego set. Yeah, I find building Lego to be very, very relaxing and therapeutic. Some stuff isn't, like some of the Technic stuff that you see here, like that is the most stressful stuff like you're ever going to build.
I was going to say, what's your most favorite Lego piece that you've, or I don't know what you call it, Lego bundle.
Set,
what's your favourite and your worst? What gives you nightmares to this day? Best and worst.
The worst is probably this Ferrari here.
Right, okay.
This Ferrari 488. And the reason being it's probably the worst is because the amount of stickers that are on that Lego set.
You really have made me a Lego fan.
I've made a lot of people a Lego fans. So like DTD, he's
I've seen in his videos. He's got the Lego behind him. Yeah, is that because of you? He's got the Lego Boba Fett helmet that
because of me. Yeah.
How do you handle negative comments? Have you ever had any that stuck in your head or affected you on a deeper level?
So I don't think I've ever had any really negative comments that have ever sort of stuck with me. And to be honest, I'll just try and avoid it. If I have people posting negative stuff, 9 times out of 10, I'll just ignore it. I won't even give them a response. The beauty of YouTube is, right, you can hide somebody. They will never know that they've been hidden. They can still watch your videos. They can still comment on their videos, and they will still see your their comments, but nobody else will.
I didn't realize that's how it worked.
Nobody else ever sees them. Either just ignore them and they might go away, but if they don't go away, just hide them and move on.
Yeah, that's really good advice.
Oh, and I've got another tip as well for some creators out there. If you get, have you ever had these comments from very scantily clad girls with like leaving loads of emojis and all this sort of stuff with like links to stuff? Did you ever get those?
And all the emojis.
Do you know the best way to deal with them?
No.
So don't just block links on your channel. Put the emojis in your blocked words list. Each emoji that these people are all using, put those in your blocked words list in your YouTube settings, and it will stop them from ever coming through.
Who is Ratty Star outside of gaming / content creation? What do you do when you're not creating and or streaming Lego or Fallout?
Okay, so I'm a real family man. I've got a wife and 2 young children. I've got an 8-year-old and a 2-year-old. So I'm sure, as you can imagine, I have my hands full with them. Yeah. Me personally, I enjoy playing football. I used to play an awful lot of football, and then COVID hit, and obviously it all just ground to a halt.
Went on the back bench, literally.
I've also done some charity stuff as well. So I did in 2019. Yeah, in 2019 I did a parachute jump.
Oh, wow.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jumped out of a plane from 12,500 feet.
Wow. And who was that for? Who was you raising money for?
So I raised some money for children with cancer.
Nice.
In memory of my wife's uncle who passed away from cancer and stuff. And he said that obviously any money that was donated to charity in his honour and stuff, he wanted it donated to children in cancer. So it's an adrenaline rush like nothing I've ever felt in my life. It's absolutely incredible.
I do love an adrenaline rush. I'm a big fan of roller coasters and stuff.
And the thing is as well, I wasn't at all nervous until the door on the plane opened, and I had this. Obviously, I was like strapped to this bloke behind me, and he was pushing me towards this door of this open plane, like 12,000 feet up in the sky. And I was just thinking to myself, like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this?
The Fallout community is comprised of all different types of people. What is your experience of the Fallout community, the positive moments you've been a part of, and how do you handle negative situations?
I don't know. The Fallout community is awesome. There are a lot of amazing people. Like DTD Gamer has become like a really close friend of mine, and me and him chat really often, and TYR as well. You think about like TYR lives in Australia, like on the other side of the world.
They're good guys, aren't they?
He's an awesome dude, and we chat on Xbox, play 76 together occasionally, when the time zone doesn't get in the way, because that's a thing.
That is a big thing. Yeah.
I don't know, the positive moment maybe back in, I think it was like 2020 when TYR and Captainoob were doing like all the speed challenges on like the Queen and stuff. I would hop into like Captainoob streams and stuff every now and then, but I wasn't considered like a particularly like big creator or whatever back then. TYR like threw down this challenge to me to like, he was like, I challenge you to kill the Queen as fast as you can or whatever. And so I did. And I went and competed with them, and I posted a 17-second kill on the scorchbeastqueen with my stealth commando, and it never got beat. And I just thought it was really awesome that I got sort of challenged by a couple of dudes who were known for that sort of stuff, and and I came out on top, and
that's an amazing moment. And it's nice as well to be like recognized by these guys that are that you're watching, you look up to them, and then they're like, hey, Ratty Star, and you're like, what, hey, and then you beat them. That's amazing.
And like Captainoob was like really salty about it as well, which made it even better.
I can imagine it.
You'll have to ask him about that in one of your questions.
I'm going to make a note of it now, so I don't forget. Ask him how
he'll be like, oh, fuck a Ratty Star.
How do you feel about Ratty beating you?
He'll probably be like, well, he used chem, so it doesn't really matter. You didn't really beat me. That's what he'll say.
Yeah.
And in terms of like negative situations and stuff, I try and avoid it because, like I said earlier, I don't think it's not worth getting involved in. If I come across like negative players in 76 or whatever, I'll just block them and like move to a different server, or I'll just hop into my private server or whatever. And the same, if I get negative comments on YouTube and stuff, I'll just hide them and move on. I don't, there's enough negativity in the world that you shouldn't be encountering it when you're playing a game, you know.
What advice would you give to someone thinking of starting a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel? But obviously you're a YouTube person, so what advice would you give to someone starting a YouTube channel?
Just do it. Like, what are you waiting for? I don't know. Don't be concerned about having like the best gear and all that sort of stuff. Don't think, oh, I need to have like £1,000 camera and like I need a $500 microphone or whatever. You just don't need it. Like, the only thing stopping you from doing it is you. And like, you know, there will never, when will ever be the right time? You know what I mean? So now is as good a time as any. And also like how we were talking about earlier and before, like, don't try and copy other people. Just be you. Like, if you've seen creators have success with certain stuff, like, that doesn't mean that will work for you. So, you know, just be yourself, because your audience will see straight through it and they will notice it. And, you know, and also just have fun.
So, talking of YouTube, who do you watch on YouTube you'd like to shout out?
Good question. In terms of Fallout creators, I watch DTD Gamer, Tia, Tonic, Captainoob. Back when he used to stream it pretty regular, I would always hang out in his streams and I'd always watch his videos and stuff, because that guy's got a lot of knowledge, and the same with like Tia and stuff. He has a lot of knowledge about the game.
He did a stream recently,
and I've learned a lot from
Nuclear Winter, which was quite entertaining to watch. You should check that out. It's fun.
Yeah, I saw that. Didn't they have 7 wins in a row or something?
He invited me to play. I commented and went, "Oh my god, you guys did so well." And he went, "Yeah, come and join us next time." I went, "Are you joking? I don't even know how to walk."
Another guy I watch is Fisty McRib. I don't know if you're familiar with Fisty McRib. I like Fisty McRib. Yeah, I think he's pretty cool. I was hanging out in some of his. He was streaming Dead Space recently, and I was hanging out in his streams of Dead Space, and I was having a blast. I thought he was really entertaining, but obviously I got to know him through Fallout 76 and stuff. And then moving on, there are a few Lego creators that obviously I've got into since I now run a Lego channel as well. There's a guy called Brixie who when I started watching him, like back in February, he was on the verge of hitting 100,000 subscribers, and now he's at like 135,000 or something. He's absolutely flying, and his Lego collection is just insane. It's like, it blows my mind every time I watch one of his videos. Like, he's got an enormous Lego city, and I've got like 2 bookcases behind me that have got a few Lego sets on. He's probably got like 30 of these bookcases in his Lego room that just go like all around the edge of his Lego room, and they're full from top to bottom, full of Lego. There's a guy called Bricklicker who makes a lot of like videos about Lego leaks and stuff, so like sets that are coming in the future and stuff like that. There's a guy called Brick Foundation. He does a lot of like informative videos about Lego and stuff. And then there's a guy called Jank Bricks, which is probably one of the biggest channels on YouTube in terms of Lego creation. He's got like 1.2 million subscribers, and he's been around for a while, and he's super knowledgeable about Lego as well.
What is your experience of gaming and how it's changed through the years, i.e. the advancement of gaming technology and the increase of gamers on Twitch, YouTube and Facebook?
Like, my first experience I had of playing games was when I think I was probably, I don't know, about 5 or 6, I think. And my parents bought me and my brother as a joint Christmas present. So my brother's like 5 years older than me, and they bought us an NES, and we got like the first Super Mario Brothers game and Duck Hunt.
That was
like,
my favourite game,
Duck and everything.
Hunt.
And
I loved that game, shooting with the gun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I think at that point, like, I knew that like gaming was going to be like a big part in my life, because like I was just so engrossed in it. It was crazy. As I got older, I got into like racing games on the PS1, things like Gran Turismo and stuff like that. And then I was like strictly PlayStation. I would only play PlayStation games for like a really long period of time. And then I played the first Gears of War on the Xbox 360, and I was hooked on it. And from that moment, I've been like strictly Xbox.
Wow.
And I mean, I don't know when the first Gears of War came out. I mean, it must be like 2006, 2007, something like that. But yeah, it's old. And then, you know, I got into playing games like FIFA and Call of Duty, and Call of Duty was amazing back when like we had like Modern Warfare 2 and like Black Ops 2 and stuff like that. And then all this like boots off the ground nonsense came in where they were wall running and all this sort of stuff, and I lost interest in that sort of thing. And like games like FIFA, like I used to play a lot of FIFA, but it made me so angry.
Yeah.
The amount of control pads and stuff that I've smashed up because of FIFA.
I think that's definitely a widespread thing. It makes you so angry.
I just do not play it anymore.
What is your fondest moment during your YouTube career? For example, do you have any stories you'd like to share? Either funny, heartwarming or kind moments, something that you'll never forget.
Recording that 17-second kill on scorchbeastqueen was pretty memorable. Like, I think just getting one over on Captainoob and TYR was probably more memorable than
they're gonna love that.
Actually,
I know TYR watches these videos. They're gonna.
Yeah.
In this video, I'm going to show you my 17-second kill on the scorchbeastqueen. So I know Captainoob and TYR were throwing down challenges to try and beat their times on the fastest time on the scorchbeastqueen. So here's mine. Now, I'm throwing down the challenge to Cap, TYR, fuck it, Angry Turtle can get on in this if he wants as well, to try and beat this time using a ranged build without the use of any of these so-called magic weapons. And you can use chems if you like. You know, Cap, I know you're not a fan of the chems, but I think to beat this time, you're going to have to. And in the footage you're going to see, I use quite a few chems. At the end of the video, I'll show you all the gear that I use, as well as my perk setup. If you want to know specifically about all the chems, I will leave a link to a video that I made in the description. But fuck it, enough from me, let's get into the carnage.
In terms of like YouTube and stuff, I guess like I remember hitting 1,000 subscribers, and I'm pretty sure I must have I think I hit 1,000 subscribers like 10 times, because the person who was my 1,000th subscriber, they must have subscribed and unsubscribed like 10 times in a row, because I remember seeing the counter just sort of ticking back and forth between like 999 and 1,000. I remember being on like 998 subscribers or something, and I had my PC screen open at home with like my sub counter on, and I was just waiting for it to like tick over, and it went to 999, and I was like, oh. And I remember just sitting there just waiting and waiting and waiting, and then all of a sudden it went to 1,000. I was like, yeah, and then it went back to 999. I was like, and then went back to 1,000, then back to 999, and it just did this back and forth, and I was just like, for the love of God, just stop pressing the button, just let me have this moment, please. And then eventually it just ticked over to like 1,001, 1,002, and I was like, yeah, I'm there.
That's the best story I've heard about someone hitting 1,000 subs. It was the best but most painful experience of your life.
Yeah, because they just kept taking it away from me, and I was just like, just let me have it, let me have my moment, please.
Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun editing that bit. Oh.
And then like obviously like the Fallout for Hope charity stuff that Ken did was just like that's like so heartwarming and amazing. You know, all those people just coming together for such an amazing like cause and stuff was just, that's incredible.
A lot of money was raised.
You know, and like I said before, it's something that I was incredibly gutted about that I couldn't get involved in and stuff, but
at least people have that to look forward to, with you being a part of the future Fallout for Hope charity streams.
Yeah, and I will 100% be a part of it.
I think he will be. Well, obviously he reached out to you in the first place, so he will be stoked to have you back on board. And now that, everyone goes through stuff where life gets in the way and life happens, but everyone that knows you, and especially after watching this, they're going to know that you're hugely into charity and helping other people, and anyone that knows you knows you're like that anyway.
Yeah, so, massively.
It would be good to see you.
Yeah, I mean, so if you we already spoke about this before we did before we started and stuff, and you said to me that you'd obviously reached out to a few people and what they'd said about me and stuff. And I mean, I always consider myself to be somebody who will help anybody, and I'll do anything to help anybody. And that's my nature. So if there's a charity thing that I can get involved in, I'm all for it, just as long as obviously it's something that I can obviously get on board with and fulfill, and all that sort of stuff. So.
Everyone has been so positive about you, and this is before I was even really recording. I was mainly doing live streams back then, and I remember people always had such kind words to say about you. So anyone that knows you or watches your stuff will know, no one would judge you anyway. There's loads of creators I know that didn't do the Fallout for Hope thing because it was actually quite hard to set up at the beginning.
If people do judge me,
I don't think anyone would. There was so many streamers.
The kind of guy I'm the kind of guy, if people want to judge me, then that's fine. It really makes no difference to me. You know what I mean? People can think what they want to think. At the end of the day, you
contribute a lot to the Fallout community.
And, I'm not going to change anything for anybody.
And that's good because, like I say, you already contribute a whole lot to the community. Your content is, really valued, and you've helped a lot of people to play this game and make it a bit easier, for them to get through. So, but yeah, regarding Fallout for Hope, I know that it'll be really good to see you a part of it. I've only been in one, so, but it'll be really good. And maybe we can do something together as well for Fallout for Hope. That'd be really nice.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But top 3 dinner guests, so they can be past, present, or future.
We're sending you back to the future.
Who would you have at your dinner table?
So my first dinner guest, I think, would probably be Michael Jackson. I grew up listening to an awful lot of Michael Jackson's music. He's so inspirational and stuff, and the level of dedication that he put into all his music and everything is just incredible. And I think some of his best music came from the Thriller and the Bad album and stuff. And I don't even have a favorite Michael Jackson song because there's probably, 5 or 6 that are all on a parallel, and I just think they're all amazing. But the one reason why I'd probably invite him to a dinner party is just to see if he would sing something that nobody had ever heard before, just something that
That's a good answer.
He's just got or had that
some unreleased
ever
track
heard, something
that
in
he
his
was hiding away.
Yeah. My next guest would be Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. He's the film director responsible for 2 of probably my favourite films ever made, Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. I think they are utterly incredible, but he is made and is responsible for some of the best films. And I would just love to ask him where he gets all his inspiration from. And I would love to know what he considers to be his favourite film that he's ever directed and stuff, because I can't pick one. If I had to, I'd probably pick Pulp Fiction, but there are just so many, Inglourious Bastards, Kill Bill, Reservoir Dogs, that just the list just goes on and on and on.
So they've all got that. They're all timeless in their own way because you can remember pretty much I think the only film I remember going to the cinema for was Jackie Brown. And that wasn't even, it was all right, but I quite enjoyed it, but no one really ever seems to care about that one.
But that's probably considered not even one of his best
and I went to the cinema for that.
It's still an amazing film. Sure, you never can tell. Okay, so my last pick is Where I've Been in the Rules, and I'm picking somebody who's fictional.
Okay. Oh, God.
Okay, and I'm picking Batman.
Okay. I think that's okay. I accept that answer.
Not that I want to ask him anything. Who wouldn't want to have dinner with Batman?
Would you ask him to build a Lego Batman if he's sitting at your table? Would you slide the Lego Batman onto the table?
I would probably ask him what he thinks of this monstrosity that is the Batman cowl, because this is an ugly piece of work.
Yeah. Oh, you can just about make out his face. Yeah, that's not
look at his
he
mouth.
doesn't have a mouth. Like it's like they just forgot
really
that
weird.
part.
Probably my favourite of like the newer films, but I think Batman Begins is probably like my favourite Batman film.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Batman.
So what is the future of your channel? For anyone watching this now, what can they expect from your channel going forward?
From the Fallout channel, just streams of like Fallout 4, 76, any future Fallouts that may come out. I may even go back and play some older Fallouts like Fallout 3, New Vegas and stuff. But
and then your Lego channel.
I mean, it's probably only going to be live streams. And my Lego channel, like I've got a lot of videos and stuff planned for that, but like I need to do review videos for like every single one of these Lego sets that you see behind me. So I've built them all. I've just not reviewed anything yet. So I'll build all my Lego sets live as well. So if you want to like, you want to come and hang out during my live streams and watch me build all this sort of stuff, then, that's cool. Just no Fallout talk.
You'll get banned. Any of these words, I'll put them on the screen. And if you say any of those words, you're out.
Yeah. Todd Howard, Bethesda.
Todd Howard, Bethesda, and Fallout. You'll be immediately banned.
I'm surprised nobody, and I'm sure you will get one, where they say they invite Todd Howard to their dinner party.
Yeah, no one.
I was.
Oh, it did.
I was seriously tempted. I didn't think Chad would do it.
I'm trying to remember if he did. I'm pretty sure he did. Didn't he say Todd Howard? I'm sure he said, we'll have to go back and watch it now. I'm sure he said Todd Howard. If you could pick 3 dinner guests, past or present, famous or not, to join you for dinner, who would they be and why?
I think Todd Howard would have to be one, because I hope to meet him one day.
I was tempted to put him, but I thought, no, I'm going to pick Batman instead, because Batman is just way cooler than Todd Howard.
You just pleased all the men watching this video. Don't worry about that.
What, because I didn't pick Todd Howard?
Yeah, because you didn't pick Todd Howard, you picked Batman. As always, as much as I like to talk, I like to give you the last word. So is there anything you'd like to say to the people watching this video now?
So anybody that's watched my videos, I guess just thank you. Obviously, they wouldn't have gained anything like the views and traction and stuff that they got without you watching them. So I appreciate that. If you like the video, like an even bigger thank you. If you dislike the video, so what? Like, who cares? Yeah. If you supported me on a financial basis, an even bigger thank you to you. You made my life a bit better. You helped me buy some Lego. Yeah. That's what you did.
You funded that awesome setup behind it.
And some Fallout stuff. I'm blown away that like my channel sort of did as well as it did, and I'm kind of disappointed that it sort of came to an end in the way that it did as well, because I didn't really want it to sort of end like that. I'm incredibly grateful to everybody that's obviously, like I said, just liked my videos, watched them, supported me. And I want to thank you for having me on this interview. I think it's been awesome. I think we've learned a lot about each other and stuff. It's been an experience. One of your questions should have been about camps and stuff, because my camp is horrendous. It's a box with the stuff with the workbenches in it, and that is it.
What, you're telling me that someone like you who's played this game since the beta has got the most basic camp going?
My melee guy has a box in the middle of the Toxic Valley that has no door. It has a wall that I have to remove to get in. So I have to remove the wall because I haven't even put a door on it. And it just has all the workbenches inside it, and that is it.
Oh my god, that's like
all there is.
It's like a man camp, a man cave / man camp.
It's a proper man cave.
I kind of forget sometimes the questions that I ask, but my partner always says to me, like, you should keep the same questions, because then you can ask them all, because obviously I'm doing this whole series and I don't know how many I'm going to do. But yeah, I kind of find it interesting to see what the answers are. But I don't think I asked Tonic about his top 3. I think I only asked Chad.
I don't think you did. Yeah, I know you asked Ken. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I hadn't thought of.
And he picked some really obscure people, didn't he?
Oh yeah, his were like brain.
I watched them and I was like, I need to Google these people. I don't know who they are.
I was like, Ken, I was like, yes. He was like, so and so, and I'm going, yes, I know. And I'm thinking, I'm like, writing them down. I didn't have the
Quick
foggiest.
Google search. Oh yeah, I know, yeah.
Oh, he's a very learned man. That's
Oh, yeah,
Professor
he really
Atkinson
is.
Ken. He
really
made me
is.
feel very not smart. Very not smart. That says it all. That sentence. You've been incredibly patient with me, and
That's
I
fine.
thank you for
I think
that.
we've been trying to organise this like since May, haven't we? Or
Oh,
something.
I know. It's my fault.
Well, I think it's my
No,
fault as well.
it's not your
Like,
fault.
yeah.
Trust me. It's completely my fault.